Hello friends, welcome to SQL Server tutorial. In the last video, we get introduced to table compression. Now let's look at what is row level compression, and we will perform table compression by picking a sample table. Here in the screenshot you can see we are picking the sample table as orders, and then we will go ahead with the table compression. So during the demo time we will see about this. For now, let's learn what is row level compression. Row level compression is performed record by record. So if table contains, say, n number of records, the row level compression will be performed record by record. First it will read the first record, performs the compression, then moves to next. Likewise, it will visit all the records in a table. So that's why here we call this as row level compression. It picks one row, compresses all the data in that row. So it looks at the data type as we previously stated in the previous video. It looks at the data type for each column, then it applies the row level compression. So row level compression is a low level algorithm, and database user will not see any difference in their table select TSql. So what here we mean is, after you perform low level algorithm, that means row level compression, and making the select query on the compressed table doesn't make any difference in the sense in terms of time. Row level compression increase page capacity to store more number of records. Page capacity, say usually it will be 8K. Since we are already saving some data by means of compression, so there will be some space available. Because of that, you can store more number of records. So it increases the page capacity in that sense. Row level compression converts fixed length data types. Row level compression converts fixed length data types into variable length. Say for example, let's state that, remember, char is fixed length where char is not. So we can take this as an example to revisit the point. Row level compression converts fixed length data types into variable length. So for example, we know that varchar data type is a variable character. That means if we declare it as varchar of 20, and so the initial size what we claimed is 20, but if we stored only 4 characters, then this remaining space will be released. Reduced means only 4 bytes are to store 1 character. Let's state if 1 byte is required, only 4 bytes is reserved. Remaining 16 bytes are released for other storage. So that's why we call this as variable character or variable length data type. But if you consider char here, char of 20, and if we store only 3 character here and remaining are not released, so char is fixed length, and if we store only 3, still this place or these slats are reserved for the data type. So that's what here we are talking about. Row level compression converts fixed length data type into variable. That means when row level compression is applied, it will find this unused space and it releases that. That way the row level compression acquires some space. For example, the size of int in SQL Server is 4 bytes. So this is one more example. We already talked about char and varchar, and here this time we are taking int 4 bytes. When actual value consumed only 2 bytes, the compression will save 2 bytes. So int also like that only. Say for example, if we want to store the number 4, and if you convert that into binary, so only 3-bit required out of 4 byte. If you see, we need only 3-bit to store the number 4, but the size given for int is 4 into 8 equal to 32 bits. So here it will keep 8 byte and releases the remaining. So in this example we took 3 slot, but let's state that in SQL Server int is 4 byte. When actual value consumed only 2 byte, actual value means whatever we are storing that in the int, that consumes only 2 bytes, the compression will save remaining 2 bytes. So in the previous video we talked about some of the data types that yields high compression ratio. Alright, the database in production may have millions or trillions of data. Compression will save considerable amount of disk space in those cases. Alright, now let's go to demo and perform row level compression. So here we will expand the database NorthWind, and we will pick the orders table. Before that we will make a select query here. Here if you see, we have 830 rows of data, and if we expand columns, there are a lot of data type which falls under the compression. Int we can compress, nchar we can compress, int date time. So varchar we cannot compress. So money we can compress, int date time. So all this stuff we can compress in this table. Alright, so to compress the data we have to right click on the orders table. So go to storage, choose manage compression. So this will open up a data compression wizard. Welcome to data compression wizard. The wizard helps you estimate the space gains for various compression option, then change the compression option of table. All right, if you don't want to show this initial welcome page, you can click on this. Let's click next and use compression type for same compression type for all partition. Let's pick this, and since we are talking about row level compression, this time we will choose row. We will talk about page compression in the next video. Now we picked row level compression. So it shows that partition number 1, the table doesn't have multiple partition. We will learn about partition in the next coming series. For now, let's consider this orders table that contains only one partition, and compression type what we picked is row. And if there are multiple partition, when you place a check mark here, it will perform row level compression for all partition. So since we have only one partition, we can even uncheck this and we can opt for what kind of compression we want. So now by clicking the calculate button, it will tell you the space gain. Of course, in our sample database we have a very less number of row count. This is nothing when compared to live production system. But here itself you can see current space is 469 and requested compressed space is 297, and you can see the yield, how much it is giving even in a simple sample database. Alright, now we have the space gain. We can click next. So here it is asking to select an output option. So if you ask to create the script, it will create the script so that you can copy later, or you can copy that script and run later, or you can even use a scheduled job to run this script. But here for our learning purpose, I'm choosing run immediately, then going with the next option, and this will give the summary of our option. So server is localhost, database is NorthWind, table what we want to compress is orders, action type is execute. Alright, execute means execute immediately. So here we are not generating the script. So if you want to generate the script, you can specify the file name or script to clipboard. Later you can paste it wherever you want, or script to new query window. So if you want to know how the TSql will be for the compress option, you can go for this option as well. Let me click next and I have to click finish here. And if you see, this is the TSql required for table compression. Alter table, table name dbo.orders, rebuild partition all with data compression row. So that's the way you can compress the data. So here if I execute, it will perform table compression. And when the table is very huge, the run may take some time. Alright, that's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye. And if you are planning to run this in your production database, you would advise talk to your DBA or site admin first and then perform this task. Why? Because the table compression in a huge table may take some time, and during that operation, other user may get impacted. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.